So it's just a really broad campaign to get people interested in Jesus. And I
Okay.
think the wording that they've used is that they want to rescue Jesus's reputation from the
Hmm.
quote unquote damage done by his followers. I know that was the wording that they used last year.
Oh,
I don't
so
know that they still have that on the site, but it gives you an insight into where they're coming from. That
right.
Jesus's followers have kind of ruined his reputation. We need to do something about that.
Pardon me for the groan, but it is so painful to hear that because, I mean, you and I both know with our trafficking in these issues, and me for 50 years now, and 30 years would stand to reason, when I see polls about the way people think about Christians, it annoys me when any um, when any luminary suggests that we have a PR problem, because we don't have a PR problem, in my view. The we have a theological problem, and the theological problem is we are the people who are getting the scorn from the world are people who are characteristically being faithful to Christ. The world doesn't like that message, never did, and therefore they're mad. And then, of course, the allegations come. You're bigoted, you're narrow-minded, you're arrogant, you're unloving, you're hateful, which is the standard way of characterizing it. And this is a really important concept that the left has picked up on to disparage not just nasty Christians, nasty in the sense of an accurate way of looking at virtue. They're nasty because they don't agree with the left. And so it's so frustrating to me when you have a massive amount of good people, Christians, otherwise good people, I would say. I'm just being very charitable to them. I think they're trying to do something good. But even that statement plays directly into the confusion, and not just the confusion, the libel on the church. And here, when I'm using the word church, I'm using it in a more restricted sense, not just Christendom. There's all kinds of problems with Christendom. 65% of the people in this country I self-identify as Christians, okay? But I'm talking about, most of those don't annoy the left because they believe all the same things. It's those who are theologically faithful, and maybe you have a different feeling about this, but it just annoys me so much when I even hear suggestions that people from our side are saying, "Yeah, look at how bad we are, and look at how accurate the assessment of these non-Christian skeptics are. We got to clean up our act." Does that? I know that bothers you.
Oh, it bothers me so much. I mean, I just could not agree more. The whole premise of the campaign that they need to rescue his reputation from that of his followers, I think, is a faulty premise. Because, like you're saying, I just don't see anywhere where people really have a problem with Jesus. It's interesting because if people read the Bible and knew their Bible, they'd probably have more of a problem with Jesus. But
Yes.
people tend to not be familiar with what Jesus actually taught. So the cultural understanding of Jesus is that he was this very loving guy. He really hated the system. He really had a bone to pick with those religious leaders, and he's a great moral example. That's what, interestingly, culture thinks about Jesus. That's exactly the Jesus that the He Gets Us campaign is giving people. So what it really does is it just doubles down on saying, Jesus is this great guy, and it's all the followers who are the problem. But like you're saying, it's the followers who are the messengers, the ones who are faithful, who are the messengers of what Jesus said. And it's kind of a case of, don't shoot the messenger, right? We're hated for sharing truth. I don't think we really need to solve a problem with Jesus's reputation. We need to solve a problem with people not understanding the value of truth and why there's good reason to believe that what Jesus actually said in its entirety is true.